morning everybody, my name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's great to have you, and if you're returning, thank you very much for coming and spending some time with me today. So we are a day early on this Flosstube, but I normally film on a Tuesday, but I have a day in the office tomorrow, so I won't be able to film. So this is Monday the 27th of March and this is Flosstube number 37. So as a consequence, I only have 3 projects plus my start and finish to show you, and my start and finish for April, and also just a little channel update, but we'll get to that at the end. So first and foremost, let's just get straight into it and start with the stitching. So I've worked on 3 full coverage pieces this week, 2 days on each, to getting 500 stitches per day, so 1,000 stitches have gone in on each piece before I've then switched to my start and finish. So the first one that I'm going to show you, okay, no, come on tablet, don't be silly, me and electronics, is this piece. And this is Envy by Marta Dahlig, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's one of the 7 deadly sins. It's number 2 for me. The last time we saw this we were at 18.29%. it has grown, but not by much, to 18.71%, and again I'm just coming in down towards the bottom, trying desperately to find that bottom. I am now within 100 stitches of finding 100 vertical stitches of finding the bottom piece, which is great. So yeah, proper enjoyed. This was my weekend piece, so I worked on this over the weekend, and for completeness, oh, I think I'm gonna have to move in the camera soon. Look at that. So yeah, so that's super. So 44,000 stitches in this piece so far, but yeah, it's coming on well, and I do enjoy stitching on it, loving her colours, and yeah, it's a piece that I would just love to, well, I'd work on it all the time, but there you go. Right, so the next piece I have is another Heaven and Earth design, and it's this piece. Artwork is Leonid Afremov and it's called Night Cafe, and I'm doing the supersized max colour version. Forgot to mention with Envy, she's been stitched 1/1 full cross on 25 count lugana. This one is being stitched 2/1 10th stitch on 25 count Magic Guide even weave. Somebody asked about my clipping and fabrics and how I handle things. So hoop, lots of fabric, lots of clips knocking about, but you know, it does make sense when I've got it on the hoop, on the frame. So a couple of sessions in this one this week, and still, you know, coming down on this. So it's moved from 1.76% to 1.86%, so reaching for that 2% mark. But yeah, enjoying this one, loving the colours, and it's nice sometimes just to change and do some 10th stitch. Okay, so the next one I've worked on is another Heaven and Earth design. Mock up. And it's this one, and it's my freebie Maui Princess, and I did a stitch with me, a chatty stitch with me on Friday, released that on Friday using this piece. So last time we looked at this it was 45.49%. we are now at 45.95%, and it's hard to sort of hold on to it and point, but I've worked in this blue section here in the middle, the bit that's in the middle of your screen. So I filled in those blues, and obviously just, you know, worked until my thread ran out underneath. So yeah, and I did enjoy spending a couple of days, you know, popping in the stitches on that one. And again, worked on 25 counts even weave magic guide 1/1 full cross. So that is that. So the next one is my start and finish, and I haven't got the picture, I've put it away, but you will have seen this in the last sort of couple of Flosstubes. It's my John Clayton kit. It's the one that I picked as a start and finish for March. I wasn't sure whether I'd get it done, but to be fair, you know, it was quite, I don't want to use this term, you know, without, I don't want to sort of sound condescending when I say this. I found it to be an easy stitch when I'm stitching 2/1 on 28 count even weave. Apart from the counting element, moving from a very small count to a larger count, I found it to be an easier and a quicker stitch than some of my full coverage. And as a consequence, some days I could put in loads on this piece. And with the mornings getting lighter as well, I'm finding it easy to get up early again. So, you know, I'll spend some sort of stitchy time in the morning. I'm up any time after 5 a.m. I mean, I know I look quite tired today, but yeah, I'm usually up after 5 a.m. anyway. So yeah, so I managed to actually finish this piece. I was thrilled to bits that I could get to a finish, and I finished it yesterday, so the 26th, so with 5 days of the month to spare. And at this point last week, I was concerned that I wasn't going to finish it at all. So here it is. It still needs obviously washing and pressing and, you know, all those good things. Well, let's just move it in close up so you can see. So there's the wings, the wingtip, and then the bottom, and then the face there. There's a little tiny bit of back stitch which I'll go in closer to in a minute. There's the other wingtip. It's got sort of some sort of sketchy background as well. Now I was showing this to my stepdad last night, and it says on the pattern eagle in flight, and he said that he thought it was an osprey. Now I'm not that well up enough on my birds of prey to be able to sort of tell you that, but you know. So just going in very close here, there's a teeny tiny little bit of back stitch on the beak. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that is literally all the back stitch that there was in this piece. So yeah, so 28 count, 2/1 even weave, some blends, some 1/1 actually, a little bit of back stitch, and about, well, nearly 4 weeks of stitching. And that is finish number 3. Well, officially 2, but actually 3. I've only got, you know, little teeny tiny bits of back stitch to do on London, which I'll show next week when I've completed that. So that is that. That's the stitching. So I did a random pick a wheel for next month's start and finish piece. I got 7 left. Let's see if I can remember them. So the Riolis kit with the dogs, the ballerina, a Margaret Sherry, a Tatty Teddy, another flower fairy, a Yorkshire map, and there's one other that is going to escape me, but you know. So I did the random pick a wheel, and the one that came up was this one. So my start and finish for April will be this Yorkshire map. Now you can tell how long I've had this kit, because on the mock-up picture on the front it's been initialed with the year 1998. So usually when you see a mock-up, it's the year that it was released. So I've had this kit for 25 years, so I think it's about time I actually cracked on and did it. It's going to annoy me that I'm not going to remember what that was. Oh, the other kit is the Blackwork kit. It's like a bridge scene, that's it. So yeah, so I'm going to get cracking on this from the 1st of April. Now I'm going to get some good stitchy time in on it, because in early April here in the UK we have several bank holidays. We've got Good Friday, we've got Easter Monday, and then sort of at the end of the month, at the beginning of next month, we've got the early May bank holiday, the bank holiday for the King's coronation, the late May bank holiday. So I'm going to get lots of bank holidays in it, which is going to be really nice, and it's going to help with stitch time. Right, so that's all the stitching. So covered what I've done in the last sort of 6 days, because it's not quite a week, and what I'm going to do next month. Now, just a quick channel update. So I've had a couple of comments and some conversation around my Stitch With Me output, and I'm not going to change the fact that I put out more than one kind of Stitch With Me. What I am going to do is look at changing, not the scheduling, but looking at changing how many I do. The way I see it, there are 3 kinds of Stitch With Me. There is ones with music, which I dub as the alternative Stitch With Me. There are ones with conversation, and then there are silent ones, which are more like ASMR, and I haven't done any of that, I don't think, yet. So I can't please everybody as a channel, as a content creator. I can't please everybody, but what I think is fairest is that I touch on all of these 3 kinds of Stitch With Me. So I will be doing a rotation of a conversational Stitch With Me, a music Stitch With Me, and a silent Stitch With Me. The conversational Stitch With Me, I don't have an awful lot to say, I'll be honest with you. I find it very difficult to sit and talk to into a camera. It's not easy for me. It doesn't come naturally. So my conversational Stitch With Me's will take a shorter form. They'll be about half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. I mean, my one on Friday was 40 minutes. I ran out of things to say. It's as simple as. Obviously the other ones will be slightly longer, but it does mean that I will be able to reach a wider audience. And I absolutely understand that music or silence is not in some people's interest, and that's fine, but it is for others. So in fairness, what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to cover all 3 areas. Now, the way that you will be able to distinguish between them is, if it's a conversational Stitch With Me, it'll have the title, the number, and the design. So like last Friday's was Stitch With Me 33 Paid Freebie Maui Princess. So that's how you'll know I will be talking to the camera. The ones with music, I will continue to use the alternative in the title. So it'll be Stitch With Me, whatever number of that series, alternative, and then the pattern title. The ones that I will do with no conversation and no music, I will be putting as Stitch With Me, the number, and then ASMR, and then the title. So when you go and look at my content, you will be able to identify from the title of the video whether or not that video will interest you. So you'll be able to see at a glance. You won't have to click on and listen to me for a minute or 2 to tell you what's coming up. You will just be able to see from the title. I think that's the only way I can do it to suit everybody. But I mean, I don't want to be more for one audience and alienating another. I mean, I've got like 1,100 subscribers, and I want to appeal to as broad an audience as possible. Stitching and floss tubing is my thing. I don't plan on giving it up anytime soon, but this is the way it's going to be going forward. But my plan is to rotate, so the next one to come out will be an alternative, then there'll probably be a chatty, then there'll probably be an ASMR, and so on and so forth. So alternative, conversation, ASMR. And I think if I do it like that, so you will still get 2 Stitch With Me's a week, but this week there'll be an alternative and a conversation. Next week there'll be an ASMR and an alternative. Then the following week there'll be a conversation and whichever one was the next, you know, I can't remember. But yeah, that's the only way really that I can put, like I said, my output out there to please everybody. Because when you look through the comments, people are like, well, yes, I like the ones with music. Well, no, I don't like the ones with music. Yes, I like the ones with chat. I'm not really bothered. I quite like the idea of an ASMR. I gotta please you all. But that's me. If I've got time to do it, I'm gonna do it. So it's just that simple. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. So all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you've not done so already, then please do press the subscribe button. It is free. There is no cost to you at all for subscribing. It's just a way of YouTube. Somebody actually said on a video, I don't like the word subscribe, and I absolutely agree, because it automatically makes you think that there is a cost involved. But if you do subscribe and press the bell, it'll notify you when I do upload a video. But other than that, I will see you next week for a Flosstube. There'll be a couple of Stitch With Me's coming out this week, so just keep an eye out for those. But take care, happy stitching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.